Hello everybody, this is Nilanjana ma'am, and how are you all doing? Good, yes. So before I start today's class, I would just like to start with a bit of a good word. Have you heard of this saying that in order to be old and wise, you must first be young and stupid? Yes, have you heard of it? So, well, you see, one is not born perfect or born wise. We do make mistakes. We, your teachers also definitely made mistakes when we were young, and we learned from our mistakes and slowly, going through the highs and lows of life, we have learned to become a bit wiser. So, with that positive note, that to err is human, we do make mistakes, but we learn from them and we gradually try to do better and better. So, with that positive note, I'm going to start your grammar class today, mainly for class 9. So, to students of class 9, I'm doing page number 58, the exercise 4 of your chapter number 7, Tom loses a tooth. And in this exercise 4, you have mainly grammar. So let's get started. Your first sentence is Rafiq was running fast. Rafiq was running fast, and your direction is you have to change it into an interrogative sentence. So we have to change an assertive sentence to a question sentence, an interrogative sentence. So how do we do that? Well, you have two kinds of assertive sentences. Firstly, one in which you have both the auxiliary verb and the main verb. And the second case is you only have the main verb given to you, the auxiliary verb is missing. So how do we solve? First, let's go to type A. That is, you have an assertive sentence where both the auxiliary verbs and the main verb are given to you. So let's take an example. Tom is singing a song. So here Tom is the subject, your auxiliary verb is, and then you have the main verb singing. So you have both auxiliary and main. How do we do this? So your structure for the interrogative sentence starts like this. First you have to start with the auxiliary verb, followed by the subject, and then immediately you have to follow up with the main verb, and then your object and the other parts will follow. So if you have a sentence like Tom is singing a song, so you have to begin with is, because is the auxiliary verb. So is Tom singing a song? Is Tom singing a song? So that is your answer. Auxiliary followed by the subject and followed by the main verb. Now we move on to case number 2. So a sentence in which only the main verb is given to you. Let's take an example. For example, he spoke louder. He spoke louder. So you have a main verb, spoke, and there is no helping verb or there is no auxiliary verb given to you. So how do we do this? So here you have to provide an auxiliary verb. If you don't have one, you have to provide one auxiliary verb. So what kind of auxiliary verbs do we provide? So you decide looking at the subject and the main verb given to you. So if you have a main verb which is given in the past tense, like here, he spoke louder. Spoke is the main verb and it is in past tense, and you have a singular subject like he. So you have to choose did. Straight away choose did. So did he speak louder? You have to start with did, auxiliary, followed by subject and then followed by the main verb. But the thing is, if you have if you begin the sentence with did, then you have to use the main verb in the present tense. So did he speak louder? Your question was he spoke louder. Your interrogative sentence is did he speak louder? I think it's clear. Now we move on to your given sentence. Your sentence is Rafiq was running fast. So this is type A sentence because you have both the auxiliary and the main verb. So we'll start with was. Was Rafiq running fast? Was, then subject followed by the main verb. Was Rafiq running fast? That is the thing. Next, you straight away from A, we will go to sentence number D, the fourth sentence. He loves to play football. Because you have the same instruction, change into an interrogative sentence. So this is type two, or the second type of sentence in which you have only the main verb given to you. There's no auxiliary. So he loves to play football. So how do we choose now? Now you have your main verb loves, which is in the present tense, and your subject is he, which is a third person singular subject. So how do we adjust it? You can use do or does. So which one to use? Look at your subject and decide. So if the subject is a singular subject like this one, he, then you have to use does. You have to begin your interrogative with the auxiliary verb does. But if your subject was a plural, then you should have used do. So I'll do a typical example with you. First, let me do this one. He loves to play football. So how do we write our question? Does he play football? You have to start with does, then the subject he, after that the main verb play, and then whatever. So does he love to play football? Clear? Does he love to play football? Then the question mark. Please don't miss your question mark, otherwise you get a 0 for that. All right. Now I'll give one example in which the subject is plural. So how do you adjust your sentence? How do you customize? Suppose you have a sentence like they travel to hill stations every summer. They travel to hill stations every summer. So your subject is they, which is a plural, and your main verb is in present tense because they travel. So if your main verb is in present tense, then you can either use an auxiliary verb like do or does, but that will be decided by your subject. So if your subject is plural, then you go for do. Do they travel to hill stations every year? Once again, do they travel, do, then the subject, then the main verb. Do they travel to hill stations every year? Every summer? Do they travel to hill stations every summer? Our question was, our given assertive sentence was, they travel to hill stations every summer. So my question is, do they travel to hill stations every summer? Question mark. Got it? Yes, yes. Next we go to your exercise, page number 58, and we go to the second question. The boy would never forget the exciting incident. You have to change it to an affirmative sentence. So you have been given a negative sentence because you have the word never, and this we have to transform to an affirmative or a positive sentence. So what do you do? Of course, you have to remove that negative element. You have to remove no, not, or never, and you have to use some opposite words. For example, the boy would never forget. So what is the opposite of never? Always. What is the opposite of forget? Remember. So the boy would always remember the exciting incident. So we have to remove the negative words without changing the meaning. So remove the negative word with opposites. The boy would always remember the exciting incident. Next we move on to the third one. We had a wonderful time last evening. Change it into an exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence meaning a sentence which expresses a sudden emotion. You have a sudden outburst of a feeling. So how do we do this? You can start with what. Now generally when you change assertive sentences to exclamatory sentences, we begin with what or how, or we sometimes have to begin with some typical some exclamatory words like hooray or say alas or bravo. So meaning you have to suit the meaning of the given sentence. So here we had a wonderful time last evening. You can begin with what. Let's do it. What a wonderful time we had last evening! Exclamation mark. What a wonderful time we had last evening. What a wonderful time we had last evening. And then put the exclamatory mark. Next one. Next one we have already done previously. But I'm just repeating the answer once again. He loves to play football. Does he love to play football? We have already done it. Question mark. Next, Reena tried all her plans. So you have a sentence which you have to transform into a negative sentence. Reena tried all her plans. So previously we transformed a negative to an affirmative. Now we have to do the other way around. So you have been given an assertive which you have to transform to a negative. That means I have to bring a negative element like no, not, or never without changing the meaning of the given sentence. Reena tried. Tried is past tense. So I can write Reena did not leave. Reena did not leave any of her plans untried. Reena did not leave any of her plans untried. So that way you can change it to a negative sentence. Last one. Shut the door, Robin. Change it into an assertive sentence. So how do we do it? Shut the door, Robin. So just change the voice. If you just change the voice, you see you can do it very easily. So you can write Robin, like Robin is ordered to shut the door, or Robin is asked to shut the door. You can say either ordered or asked, because it is an imperative sentence, which means an order over here. Shut the door, Robin. It is an order sentence. So either you can write Robin is ordered to shut the door, or Robin is asked to shut the door. So it's quite easy. Please finish them in your copy and keep working, and try to follow some other examples. See you